Let me tell you the story of not just the most offensive Easter egg, but quite possibly the most offensive thing ever put into a video game. One that the world believed was fake for over 3 decades, thanks to incompetence, laziness, and possibly even a publisher convincing the world it was fake. Now, the world wasn't exactly screaming out for a scrolling brawler starring anthropomorphic mallards and Colonel Sanders for some reason, when Sega released Dynamite Ducks in 1988, which is probably why they've never really bothered with it since. But for a scrolling beat-em-up starring 2 bestiality-obsessed ducks who share a human girlfriend and assault local wildlife, you'd think this game would be offensive enough. However, developers Core Design, probably best known for making the original Tomb Raider games, thought they'd up the trigger factor when they added a rather crude Easter egg to the Commodore Amiga and Atari ST versions of the game. Unfortunately, what they didn't do, however, was actually tell anyone how to access it. Rumours at the time had circulated that there was an abhorrent Easter egg in the game, but as with most gossip, it was never explained how to actually do it. But this is where the story goes completely dopey. One hacker broke into the game's code to discover if it was true, and upon discovering alternate sprites for the egg, was amazed to find out it was. However, they seem to have been confused by some cryptic wording in the game's code, and confused it for a milder Easter egg found much later in the game. In case you were wondering what that was, typing nude during the bonus level has all the ring bunnies expose their breasts. A crude Easter egg, yes, but not quite the infamous one. So, whoever this hacker was wanted to get their name immortalised in magazines and submitted it to their cheats page. But amazingly, not one single magazine ever bothered to check if the code actually worked. In fact, even to this very day, gaming websites are still posting this false code as real. But for all this guy's ineptitude with this code, ironically, no one ever credited him for it. So, through this bizarre combination of events, for 30 years the world believed that this code was fake, even though it partially wasn't. There are rumours that the publisher Activision themselves may have anonymously submitted the codes to end rumours of the infamous Easter egg. But unfortunately, as an amazing a story as that would be, and is still a possibility, it would be impossible to prove, sadly. But now for some good news. Thanks to the help of my good friend Ian from CodeTapper.com, we can not only prove that this Easter egg does exist, but for the first time ever, actually tell you how to finally unlock it. Now, if you play the game normally, or attempted to enter the fake cheat codes into the game, upon starting the game, you'll see this rather standard intro of Lucy being kidnapped and the 2 ducks going into a door to rescue her. However, if one happened to load the game into a hex editor, look for the line, "If you want to see something dirty, put code here," and simply replace the 5 dots with the word dirty. Yeah, I know it's not much of a hidden passcode. But for your reward, you'll be able to see this erogenous egg in all its filthy glory. One day, Lucy was playing with herself, while Bin and Pin were buggering each other in the beautiful flower garden. Then suddenly, an evil black pimp appeared and changed into some kinky leather gear while they were watching. Lucy startled and orgasmed at the size of his miracle balls, and disappeared with the pimp to his sleazy brothel. Therefore, Bin and Pin stopped giving each other one and ventured into the brothel, not wanting to miss out. In case you were wondering if Sega knew about this, chances are they either weren't or didn't care. Sega Europe didn't exist at the time, and all UK distribution of Sega consoles was managed by Virgin Mastertronic. They had no powers to license rights to other companies, so it would have gone through Sega Japan, who, like most Japanese companies who license their games to the UK, weren't really interested in quality control. Well, that, and I doubt there are many Amigas in Japan, so they had no idea of its existence. So, there you have it. Conclusive proof that an Easter egg everyone believed was fake for nearly 3 decades was not only true, but with a little programming knowledge can easily be accessed. Who knows what other games out there contain similar sinister secrets? Hello you! Thanks ever so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to be first to see future Fact Hunt episodes. Click on the bell if you already are to make sure you're notified, and be sure to check out my other episodes. And if you want to be super awesome, check out my Patreon. But thanks again for watching, and I'll be seeing you next time. Ta-ra for now!